As we are members of nature's community, what we do to them, we do to ourselves. Only by nurturing them, we can nurture ourselves, and by healing them, can we heal ourselves.
If we're going to change the health of the farming system, ultimately we can only do that through farmers. Farmers' Footprint has been created to tell these stories. It's about connection. It's about making farmers the hero.
Big change started happening about 25 years ago with the birth and subsequent death of our first child. After that experience, Rachel and I realised that change needed to be made. We wanted to be part of the solution instead of part of the problem.
Having children was what made me really question our diets and what we were putting in our food. It all goes back to the soil. You've got healthy soil, you've got healthy grass, you've got healthy animals, you've got healthy people.
It's kind of a revolution in terms of the way food is produced, and that's got to start with farmers, and we want to tell that story.
But look at the worms in there. Woohoo!
Regenerative design is about the application of principles, because actually what grows in that ground is exactly what that ground lets grow. And until we change that ground, nothing else is going to grow sustainably.
The root of every challenge that we face really comes down to a loss of connection. These animals are part of our whole regeneration. We couldn't do it without them.
I don't think Nicky would have been as interested in farming if we'd carried on how we were.
No, I don't think I would have at all. It's this style that interested me. It's all experimenting and it's creative, and there's a lot of observation involved, a lot of just being out there.
We are departing from monotony to diversity, but functional. In this farm, we got two sides: the integral health farm side and the more conventional side. So two sides, two different herds, two different farms in the same property that are managed differently. And we are running scientific measurements in both sides to have a fair comparison.
We're scoring health and vigour of the grasses. Can we see some reproductive heads? And what's the crown health of the grasses like?
We have reduced nitrogen and synthetic inputs by half. We have used 20% less water. We produce more per cow and more per hectare with less cows. We even went further and ran human trials that show us that people consuming animal products from this sort of farm system are healthier.
It could have been quite easy at times to not bother and go back to what is comfortable. You default back to, oh, let's not think too hard about this, let's just go back to what we know. We can't go back to using pesticides and herbicides and fungicides. They're all sides, they're all toxins, and I won't do it. So we have to find a different way.
In Central Hawke's Bay, it has been a largely denuded landscape. Really extreme how humans have treated this land. All these hills, I imagine, would have been covered in native forest, and just the abundance of life and bird life and the cacophony of sound would have been incredible.
We're evaluating ecological health, and we're showing that that health is changing because of the way farmers manage that land. The food that comes off that land is coming off with higher levels of nutrient, and consumers that buy that are now evidentially showing greater health.
The best thing you can do for the environment and for your health is to get to know where your food comes from. Like, get to know a farmer if you can, whether it's a vegetable grower or a livestock farmer. Support your local food producers, because you demand good food, they'll provide it.
The biggest premium you're going to get is actually the health that you're going to bring to your system. You'll actually maintain your levels of productivity and you'll reduce your inputs.
Nature that does all the work, we just help facilitate. Nature wants to heal. The first thing that we can do is kind of get out of the way.
Seeing the birds, the wildlife, the insect life and everything else, the whole come back, hugely rewarding. But nature's default is actually one of abundance.
I sort of feel that in the history of agriculture there's never been a more exciting time to be involved in farming. I'm really looking forward to the future.
The gate's open and just wanting to share that with anybody that is interested in learning, from our mistakes and from our learnings.